وأتم التسليم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. This is a continuation of Uloom, Quranic, different knowledge, sciences of the Quran. And that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يجعل القرآن حجة لنا لا علينا. May Allah bless us to be those who the Quran will be a judge for us in our favor and not against us. Ameen. We mentioned the Quran, Hujjatun Laka aw alayk. The Quran will either on the day of judgment be for you or against you. In this life, it's either for you or against you. For you, if you believe in it, you follow it, you recite it, you quote it, you live by it, you defend it, you know it, use it, you pray with it, you recite it, teach it, it'll be for you. And if you don't believe in it, you don't know it, you don't care about it, you abandon it, you don't read it, you don't pray with it, you don't defend it, you oppose it, then it'll be against you in this life. And that's what we see with people who are astray. It's against them. And those who Allah blessed to be guided by it, it's for them. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the Quran for us in this life and the after, and not against us in this life and the after. Ameen. Today, inshallah, wa ta'ala, I'm going to deal with some principle from the Quran and the Sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ. A principle that is very well needed when we talk about good versus evil. When we talk about something that's right versus wrong. When we talk about anything that may be beneficial versus something that's harmful. We need this principle. So it comes in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Idfa billati hiya ahsan. Idfa billati hiya ahsan. Idfa. That's a command form. Idfa. The origin of the word is dafa'a.
Let's shake that mark. Somebody's coming through the door.
Dafa'a. Does it look like dafa'a? Dal, fa, and ain, dafa'a. Is that what you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Del, fa, and the ain. Dafa'a. Is that what you say?
No. Yes. That's the ain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dafa'a.
Yes, dafa'a.
Okay. Yeah.
That means to defend. To defend. To repel. To fight. To push. Also means to avoid. All of those words come from dafa. From that word, dafa, you have have, mashallah, defense. Oh, defense, defy. So when someone is trying to harm you, or harm your family, or harm your honor, or harm your lifestyle, or harm your religion, then you have difa'a. Difa'a nafsi, defending yourself. Difa'a an Islam, defending the religion. Difa'a. So you have that's the command form, to do all of those things. So Allah said, idfa billati hiya ahsan, and to defend, to push, repel, billati, with that, hiya, which is ahsan, the best. Idfa billati hiya ahsan. So if we take that ayah, to push away and to defend with that which is best, then that means that you have to always look for defense first. Your main concern is to look for harm first. Your main thing is to look for what will destroy the good, not what good you can bring, not what would be beneficial, not what will have some advantages. You look for the opposite. You look for what will harm the good. You look for what will destroy advantages. You look for that which will cause harm. Idfa billati hiya ahsan. So you have dafa'a, all of those words and means, dafa'a. Then you have difa'a, the act of defense. And you have idfa, the command form. Somebody's alarm phone going off, can you cut that off, please? No, that's okay. Reminds me of an old school bell when there's a fire drill or recess. Somebody here old enough to remember those bells, raise your hand. So this is where we're going to start with regards to the principle. Remember, dafa'a, difa'a, defense, and ittifa, the command form. To fight, to push away, to defend, to repel something, to argue, also means to argue, to do disposition, to do dissertation, debate, refutation. Now, I need a bigger eraser. Anybody need to take a picture of this chicken scratch? Free of charge.
No, we got it.
Go.
Now come down, shit.
Okay. In the fact.
Go up a little, go up right there.
So if you're going through a door in Arabic, and the door is stuck, and it says push, then that means idfa. So if you're ever in some place, Arabic-speaking place, and you're trying to go, maybe pulling the door, thinking you should pull it, and somebody says, idfa, they tell you to push it the other way. Idfa back.
You got one word, come down,
breaker. Coast clear?
Coast clear.
Tight. So, defa'a means what?
Push, fight, repel, defend, avoid, argue.
Defa'a,
Difa'a is fight, active defense.
barakallahu feek. And idfa, command form. Idfa'a.
Difa'a.
Yeah, that's the command form.
Yeah.
You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Prophet said, La ضر ولا
You got it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Try to visually read this. La لا ضر ولا لا ضر ولا ضرار لا ضر ولا ضرار ضر is causing harm لا ضر not to cause harm ولا ضرار and no reciprocating that harm. Small hadith in the Arba'in Nabawiyah. لا ضر, don't cause any harm. ضر, ضر means to make harm.
Yeah. Dog, right?
See the shadda on the raw. That's a dad and a raw. La darra,
La
don't
dog,
cause harm. Wala dirar. But the kasr means to reciprocate. Somebody do harm to you, don't do the harm back. The first one, la darra, don't cause any harm. Wala dirar, and don't give it back. La darra, don't cause harm. Wala dirar, and don't give it back. Don't reciprocate the harm. This is one of the hadith that they would put in the category. They will say the Prophet had jawa'im, and kalam. Small words that have a large, impactable meaning. This is one of those hadiths. Scholars have wrote pages, books from that one hadith. La darra wa la dira. So darra, the da is in the jaw. Dalin, darra, la darra wa la dira. La darra,
La Dora,
la darra,
La Dora,
la darra
La Dora,
wa la
Wala
dira.
Dira.
Don't cause harm and don't give it back. Don't make harm and don't reciprocate it.
So Wala Dira.
Yeah.
Okay. You can put the
On the wow,
La.
I didn't put nothing above it.
La.
Should be two last.
What? No, you're missing a la.
I'm missing that? Okay. So where? Here?
Over a little. It's going to be close. Right between those two words. Come to your left. Come to your left. Come to your left. Right there. Right there.
Well,
So what? The wow is there?
Yes.
yeah.
Just no line.
No line.
Okay. So it should be la darra wala dirar.
Yeah.
The la is there twice because it's negation.
Negation.
Yeah. Some said that lam is prohibition. You have the lam that means don't do something. You have the lam means that if you do it, it's a sin on you because you're told that it's wrong to do it. Some said that lam in the language. Lam means don't. Lam means prohibited. So here, some said the la here means don't, and others said that it's prohibited. Don't cause harm and don't reciprocate it, don't give it back. This is where the concept of the prophet returning good with what? I mean, returning evil with what?
Good.
Yeah, that comes from this hadith. Do I need to write it over?
No.
Okay,
No,
say
we
it.
got it.
So again, la darra,
La dora,
la darra,
la dora,
wala,
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 dirar.
dira.
Hey. So you have dafa'a, to push away, to repel, to ward off, to avoid, to push. Then you have difa'a, defense, the act of keeping those things away, those are bad. And then you have Allah saying idfa', yani to fight, repel, defend, push away, to debate, yani that which is bad, billati, with something here ahsan, greater than the evil. So you always want to keep the evil away. Because the Prophet said, la darra wa la dirar. Let there be no harm nor reciprocating that harm. Some said it also means let there be no harm done and no revenge. What a struggle, huh? Somebody said, SubhanAllah. This is why one of the jobs of the Prophet was to teach the people makarim al-akhlaq, how to perfect their character, how to become the best human being. And these people want to talk about Islam as terroristic and dictocratic and all of this stupidity. Do your job now.
It's clear.
Okay, so why did we start with that? Because we want to talk about the principle. Principle is how am I going to write this? There are two ways they say this. They say is that dafa'a?
Dafa'a, yeah.
Dafa'a, not dafa'a. You say dafa'a, that means you put a line, a elongation on the fa. Is this dafa'a?
Dafa'a.
Dafa'a.
Yes, yes.
Dafa'a.
Dafa al-mudarra. Al-mudarra here is the That's da. I'm erasing da.
Got it.
Gone. So Mudawra is the Are you serious? That can't be my phone. Ain't nobody supposed to be calling. What's that? It's supposed to be do not disturb on. They probably kept calling. So al-Mudawra is that harmful thing.
It is on.
He must have kept calling. Got to fix that. So dafa al-Mudawra. Over. Let me erase this right here. That what I was writing?
Yes.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yep. Yep.
Allah is still there though, right? And over. Huh?
Al-Mudawra.
You just
El
erase
Mudawra.
Al-Mudawra. Still there.
Okay, yeah, not that part. The other that I just wrote. Okay. Mudawra is where? Here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this could be. And then you have. Did I write a dot under here? Yeah. I did?
Yes.
There's a dot there?
And
Here on my fingers at the back. It's 3 letters, Gene, Lamb, and back.
no, there's no dot down there.
Okay. So this is the back. There's no dot.
No.
The dot goes right underneath. Am I right underneath?
No, you gotta go
Gotta
up.
go up a little bit.
Go up.
Up. Okay. Now you can
That's
put
the back?
Yeah.
the back right there. You can put the dot right there. Yeah.
There should be a line. Jalaba. Jalaba means to bring about.
Okay. Jalaba.
Mm-hmm. And here and al-masalih. So it should be al and then the meme. Masalih. So say it. Al-masalih. Meme. Sad. With the madda. Al-masalih. Where's the last 2 letters on that word? The lamb and the has together. See here? See it?
Yes.
That's the lamb or the ha? The last 2 letters of that word, al-masalih. Should be an aleph. The lamb has a circle.
Yeah.
Then it's a sad with the medda
Yeah.
to make it long, and then the lamb and the has by
Right
connected.
there. Right
So,
there.
right here,
Yeah.
this is the lamb.
The lamb is up.
But I want to be below the lamb.
Yeah.
Okay. That's low.
Yeah.
Masalih. Masaliha. And the meme has a dhamma. Where's the meme at?
You gotta go.
Aleph, lamb, and the meme.
You gotta
Up,
gotta go up
to your left. Go
Keep
up some
going.
more.
Keep. No, come down. Come down. Go Go to your left. Go up, go up, go up. Okay, go to your left. Okay, you're under the mean.
I want to go above the mean.
Okay, go up. Okay, you're good right there.
Okay, what's all that? So this means, yani, things are good. Or what? Ever is good. So we look at this, the whole issue of dafa'a and idfa', to push away, and the issue of difa'a, and the statement of the Prophet, la darra wala dirra, let there be no harm nor reciprocating harm. Then you have this principle, that is dafa'a al-mudarra, to push away the evil, ala, over, and instead of jalaba, try to bring about al-masalih. So you have a bad thing in the way, and the good thing you want to do. The one that takes precedence, الذي تقدم على الآخر, the one you bring first rather than the thing that should be left, is that you leave the good and you bring the difa', pushing away the bad. Itfa' billati hiya ahsan, and to repel, to push away, to defend that which is bad with what is better. Why? Because what is better cannot be brought unless you push away what's worse. And nothing's worse than the harm. If you have harm, any good can be destroyed. Any good can be destroyed with harm. Allah Azza wa Jal said, La tushrik billah, don't make shirk with Allah. Inna shirka la dhulmun azim, because shirk is the worst of wrongdoings. Luqman al-Hakim, the wise one, told his son, Ya bunayya, O my son, la tushrik billah, don't make shirk with Allah. Inna shirka la dhulmun azim, because shirk is the greatest of wrongdoings. The worship to Allah, the greatest thing, that which everything has been created for the purpose of displaying the greatness of Allah by its worship to Him, even can be destroyed with that which is evil, which is shirk. So, if that's the case for the worship of Allah, the tawheed of Allah, nothing's greater than the uniqueness of Allah, the greatness of Allah, the superiority of Allah, the worship of Allah, the existence of Allah. Then if the shirk can destroy that worship, then that means the shirk must be pushed away. And if the shirk must be pushed away, then any other evil, the precedence of pushing it away comes before bringing any good. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet when he went to the people, once he became a messenger, Allah told him to say to the people, Ya ayyuhal mudaththir, kum fa'anzir. O people, Allah said, O one who wrapped in clothes, stand up. Kum fa'anzir. Stand up and disavow, push away the shirk. وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and your Lord, worship Him, magnify Him. He didn't say magnify your Lord and push the shirk away. He said warn them of the shirk first, then worship Allah. So the evil always has to be pushed away before you bring the good. The evil always has to be pushed away before you bring the good. So what should be pushed away?
The evil.
Evil.
Which means the good has to be put on what?
On hold.
On hold. Yeah? Yeah. Is that clear?
Yes.
So, again, Janaba al-Masalih. I'm sorry. Dafa'a al-Mudarra ala Janaba al-Masalih. You push away the harm before you push away the harm over. You push away the harm rather than bringing about the good. Push the harm away, repel the evil, get rid of the evil, then you bring the good. Why? Because if you push away the evil, if you repel the evil, bring the good, then the good can be beneficial. The good can remain. But if you bring the good and the harm is there, what's going to happen to the harm, to the good? Huh? Yes, it's going to be overtaken by the evil.
Come down.
That's why the patience is important.
Come down, shit.
When Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned what the waso bin haqqi, what the waso bin sabr, to work together with establishing the truth and establishing the rights the people and things have, including Allah's right, which worship Him. And your rights is people. And Allah said what the waso bin sabr. And everybody has to work mutually with sabr. What is sabr? Here, not bringing about the good until you push away the evil. That's one of the types of sabr. Not to just sit back and let it happen. No, you have to be busy with getting rid of that evil. Not what they teach us now. The Muslims are tolerant. So tolerant means the harm is there. You don't push it away. And the good is there. You don't bring about no good. You just sit and you watch and you get destroyed. You say, oh, we're being patient. No. Patience is you pushing away. You fighting against getting rid of that evil so you can bring about the good. Did I erase everything?
Yes.
So this is Dafa'a. And this is Jalaba. So this is good. Dafa'a, right? This here?
Yeah, that's
And this is bad. So you have if it's 60% bad, dafa'a, that means on this side is 40%. If 60% is to the right, on the dafa'a, pushing away evil, what's left of the 100 is on this side. So that means 60, 40. 60% bad,
and 40% good.
So if the good is 40% and the bad is 60, then that means you got to push away the evil before you can bring that 40%. I'm showing you a table, a chart, how to gauge, how to know, how to apply this principle. Push away the evil before you bring good. I started with 60. If the 60 is on the defi side, that means 40 is left because you're dealing with ratio of 100. It means you got to get rid of the evil before you bring the good.
The good.
I put 50. They said, the scholars said, if it's 50-50, 50% defi, bad. 50% jalaba masada, good you can bring, still. You push away the evil first. So if the evil is more or is even, it takes precedence. Got to get rid of it.
The evil.
If the evil is more or equal to the good, we got to get rid of the evil first. But if the evil is less, 40%, now let's take the number, put it on this side, 60% good, what's left on that side? 40. So that means 60% good, 40% bad. Then that means you bring the good. Because the good outweighs the bad. 60%, and that's 60% because it's strong. So then the evil, it'll push the evil away. Part of good is that it pushes, repels, gets rid of evil anyway. But if the evil is equal or it's stronger, then it's going to overwhelm the good. So 60 on this side, 40 on that side, the good takes precedence. Bring the good, and it pushes away the evil. 50-50, if it's 50% good, 50% bad, then you switch it. You push away the evil because 50-50 is too much. If it's 40% bad, 60% good, again, bring the good to push away the bad. How about 30% bad, which leaves 70% good? You bring the 70% good, it's going to push the 30% bad away. And if it's the opposite, for example, 70% bad is going to leave you 30% what?
Good.
So you push the 70 away, because if you bring that little 30% of good, that 70% of bad is going to gobble it up. Understand? So the ulama, they said, as it relates to dafa, al-madar, ala jalab al-masalih, pushing away the evil, as opposed over bringing about the good. If it's 50-50, push away the evil. If the evil is bigger, push away the evil. The only time you bring the good first is if the good is more than the evil. That's the only time you bring it. Okay. Is that clear?
Very clear.
You doing batteries okay? You really think I'm going to go another 15 minutes? I got enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, I'm going to give you some scenarios. You make the judgment based on what you just learned of this principle. What you just learned of the fact.
Dafa.
Yeah. He wants to practice his luga.
That's
You
right.
better make sure you understand it, right? You can sound good all you want.
That's right. Go forward. Go forward. One more. Kick your foot, go forward.
Right by your foot, bend down. Up to the wall. Up to the
I'll
wall.
go toward, yeah.
Wait something you tall is difficult. Man. Take. All right, so We went over this in the khutbah. You have Hajj. That's because I'm tired. My hand is moving and my brain is not moving as fast as my hand.
You got it.
So you have Hajj. You have So you have Hajj and murder. So the murder, let's say it's 50, 70, 30, or here. It's about right? Hajj is there?
Yeah.
Which one you do first? Let's take the 70. We want to make Hajj. Sulh Hudaybiyah. Have our animals, 10,000 Muslims, men, women, some children, animals, food. And the people of Mecca said, no. If we cross this precinct and come into the district of Mecca, we're going to kill all of you. 10,000. Men, women, children, animals, your food, all the way walking and riding from Mecca, from Medina to Mecca. That's long. That's a long journey. Sleeping in the sun, resting in the sun, under the shade, sleeping at night, getting up, going for days. I don't even know how long that would take. It's like 1,200 miles or something. SubhanAllah. Like going from New York to maybe Raleigh, North Carolina, or further than that, South Carolina. We want to make Hajj. The numbers. 70% to make the Hajj, and what we say 30% being massacred, killed. Which one do you do? We make a Hajj anyway, or you don't make Hajj? Which one do you do? You bring the good Hajj, or you push away the being murdered?
Push away.
Right, you got 70 on the murder, 30 on the Hajj.
Okay, so 70 on the murder, 30 on the Hajj. What do you do?
Push the murder away.
Do you make the Hajj?
No.
Why not?
Because
You got to get rid of the
you
evil.
got to get rid of the evil before you can do the good.
50-50. 50% chance of making the Hajj, 50% chance of being murdered. You said, well, we'll take our chances 50-50.
No.
Why not?
The murder takes precedence. The harm takes precedence over the good.
But it's 50-50, Akhi.
Still,
We've been traveling all this time.
the harm takes precedence over the good. You gotta
Hey, because that 50% chance of Hajj, if you go, the 50% chance of murder could overwhelm the Hajj, right? The number has to be low with regards to the evil to bring the good. You got one on this side.
20.
Okay, 20% chance of being murdered and 80% chance of making Hajj. Do you make the Hajj or you push away the 20%?
make the Hajj.
Why?
Because the good outnumbers
The bad.
the bad.
Have 8. You have Salah and Khutbah. Take the numbers, let's apply it. You want to switch it. You want to do khutbah first, so people can hear your message, and pray second. On Eid, Salat is first, khutbah is second. But you want people to hear you have a dynamite message. And you have division in the community. They don't want to hear what you have to say because they're against you. So you say, this Eid, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the khutbah first and the salat second. Which one do you do? Do you give the dynamite talk? Or do you lead the salat first? You give the talk first, the salat first. So let's put 80% on the khutbah and 20% on the salat. 80% chance of giving the khutbah when the salat should be first, and 20% chance of mada the salat being done. Which one do you do? Do you give the khutbah first, although it's 80% harmful, or you leave the salat first, which is the right way?
You gotta.
You want people to hear your message. The only way they're going to hear your message, you speak first. If you do the way that we should do on Eid, after prayer, everybody's going to get up and leave. So which one?
You do
If the khutbah, 80% harm, and the salat, bringing that first 20% good, which one you bring first? The salat, the right way, or the khutbah first? Which one?
You gotta get rid of the harm.
So then that means, even though the talk is high powered, you want them to hear your message, you got to push that away. You can't give the talk.
Right.
You got to bring the salat first,
Right.
rather than bringing that powerful talk, because the harm is 80%.
Right.
Making it the salat first the right way
No.
is 20% good. If you do that first, mashallah, 20%, good, mashallah. But the harm, the khutbah, if you bring that first, then that's 80% harm, because people are going to think this is the new way. Mm-hmm. People are going to say, oh, mashallah, so this is how it should be on Eid. Every Eid, they want the khutbah first. The change with the Prophet ﷺ legislated, and the Prophet said, kullu bid'atin dalalah. Every innovation is a stray. So you can't give that khutbah. You can't give that khutbah. You have to remove that powerful message, and the salat, you must make the salat. Even though that khutbah was the thing that you want to do, it's more harmful. It has more harm than this good. Doing it the right way. Doing the salat first the right way is better, but it's 20% better. The harm of switching it is greater. And we've seen that with Marwan ibn Hakam. On the day of Eid, he wanted them to hear his talk, but they were against him because he was against Ali ibn Abi Talib, who died before him, and those people. So now he wanted to talk, and the people don't want to hear what he has to say, so he wanted to switch. He wanted to bring about a good. Let me put the khutbah first so they can hear me. But the harm, 80%. You can't do it. No. That evil of switching the religion, you got to push that away first. Can't bring that talk. You have to keep the salat. The salat. If he did that, it will cause all kind of chaos. And that's why Abi Sa'id, rather than let him do it, Abi Sa'id pulled him, yanked him. Somebody would say, oh, subhanAllah, look at the fitna. You should have let him talk. La. The harm is greater. Push that harm away. Push that harm away. Let me see. Now, push that harm away. The harm was greater. To let him do that would have been greater than just, let him do it. We don't want to make fitna. Again, the number's too high. Can't let him do it. You got to push that thing away. Okay. We have also public intoxication. During the time of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, the leaders claimed they were Muslim to Tatar. Their name was the Tatar. They were Muslim who disbelieved by way of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were Muslim who didn't pray. They believed that you can't say that Allah has a hand, and that Allah He loves, and that Allah He sees, He hears, He speaks. They were persecuting the people who were Muslim, believing the right way. When they got ready, they would imprison the people of Sunnah. The scholars, they would put them in jail, beat them. They would take their wealth. They would take their women, rape their women. This Muslim doing this to the Muslim. The Tatar. They actually made a movie about this. The story of Ibn Taymiyyah and the Tatar. Some Egyptian people played, and it's okay. I mean, alhamdulillah, he did a decent job. It's real live. You can see it on YouTube, but it's actually in the book mentioned the right way. And so, one of the things that Allah prohibited is that people be drunk openly. It's prohibited to drink, period. But if a person is going to drink and he does it in his home, it's different from being in the public. It's different from being the military, the rulers, the political party, the king, the minister, the cabinet, the president, and they out here drunk. If they're drunk and doing havoc, people are going to be afraid because the people who are supposed to protect you, they're about to wreck you. So as they were walking, these people, the soldiers, were drunk, laughing and breaking the wine bottles and wine and glass all over the street. They were walking through. Shaykh Islam Taymiyyah was quiet. His students who were scholars, worshippers, believers, they were quiet. So when they got back to the masjid, they asked the Shaykh, this is Shaykh, why didn't we tell them that that's wrong? Why didn't we enjoin the good? Tell them you should not be drunk. You should not do this. Prohibit the evil. It's wrong. Be sober. Fix your character. Allah prohibited. Why we didn't say anything? Ibn Taymiyyah, he said, the evil that right now that they have, the good you're saying we should say something, the evil outweighs that good. You want me to enjoin the good, prohibit the evil. Stand up for Islam. He said, but when those people are sober, this is when they imprison us, the scholars, beat us, torture us, take our wealth, and rape our women. But when they're drunk, we're safe from their harm. When they're drunk is when they don't do these evil acts. So to say something which is the greater good was less than that evil that we avoid by leaving them alone. It's better to let them be drunk openly and be quiet than to try to change it. Now they're sober and they'll do the evil because we did the good, which the harm outweighed the good. You get it? Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yes.
The harm has to be removed before you do any good.
Right.
The Prophet ﷺ, he said, لن يفلح قوما لو ولى تأمر عليهم امرأة. A people will not be successful. The people will not achieve what they're trying to achieve so as long as they have over them as their leader a woman. Why did the Prophet say that? Because Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, Surah Al-Rum, غُلِبَتِ الْرُوم, when the Romans were conquered. في أرض الأرض من بعد غلبهم سيغلبون. After those people who were the Romans got defeated by the Persians, the Romans will re-defeat those Persians. لله أمره وقبل ومن بعد. And Allah is in control of all affairs, that which is in the past and the present. يومئذ يفرح المؤمنون. And when the Romans got back on top, after the Persians conquered them, who were pagans, the believers of Mecca, the Prophet and his companions, they rejoiced at the fact that the Romans got back on top. They re-defeated the Persians, and Allah said, Binasrillah. Why did the believers rejoice? They rejoiced at the victory of Allah through those Romans. Yansuru man yasha. And Allah will aid and help whom He wills. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. And He is the one who is mighty, unstoppable, capable to do all things. And He does, and He did this out of His mercy. وَعَدَ اللَّهِ يعني لا يخلف الله وحده. And Allah keeps His promise, He never breaks it. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But most people, they understand, they know this not. That's Surah Rum, which in Arabic means the Romans. And why did Allah Azza wa Jal bless, although the Prophet mentioned this about them, the Persians, when they beat the Romans and the Romans later on re-defeated them, that their leader was a woman. The Persians during that time, their leader was a woman. And the Prophet made that statement in Bukhari. Some scholars said about that incident, and it can be used general, but he was talking about for sure that incident. That they will not last, they will not be successful in keeping the rule because of the issue of how they chose a woman to do the job of a man. What's the point here? That although the Prophet said that, to push away the greater harm, to push away somebody who wants to take all liberties, the liberties of the Muslim, the liberties of the Christian, the Jews, the liberty of not only the people who like sexual preference, love and marry who you like, but he wants to take the liberty away from people who marry in the halal way, divorce in the halal way. He not only wants to take the liberties away from blacks, Hispanics, Arabs, Asians, but everybody other than who is with him. He wants to dismantle the Constitution of the United States. He wants to make the taxes for poor people more with inflation and being on the brink of going into what some even may say may be a recession again, like 1929. And lower the taxes, make it little to next to no taxes for the rich who are already rich, and the rich keep getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. They want to make anything that is a right or a freedom or a liberty or some type of enjoyment null and void. So although it may be something religiously beneficial that we don't pick a woman, that we bring about the good of practicing what the Prophet said, that a woman should not be in leadership to push away the bigger evil. To push away that evil, the weighs way more than a lady being simply in leadership is greater based upon this principle that you learned today than saying, I'm not going to vote because voting is not from the Sharia. I'm not going to vote because it's a way of democracy, which some scholars said democracy is major shirk and it's from kufr. It's not from the way of Islam. The greater evil is a people that want to see no religion on the face of the earth, and that's why it's important to know the lights of these principles, that you have to push away the harm before you can bring any good, even if it be some good in the book of Allah, Sunnah of His Messenger, Sallallahu, and the houses that you live, and the societies in which we thrive. This is a principle, one of the golden principles of Islam, Dafa'a al-Madar ala Jalaba al-Masalih, to push away the evil when it's equally ratioed or the evil is more than the good. Push away the evil takes first precedence, and the good is only brought when the ratio of evil is less than the good. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us push away the evil. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rahman Rahim, Malik Yawmuddin, to give us victory over the evil folk. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring about a good after the pushing away of this evil. Wallahu musta'an. Sallallahu alayhi wa Muhammad. Any questions?
Yeah, and I got a question.
You should have clear sunglasses on now with this issue. With those principles today, it should be crystal clear. Inshallah. Fadal.
Yeah, with the issue of the voting, they want to put a woman in power. What's the name? Kamala. In view of that, evil that was done back then, is that applicable to her?
Sheikh, you just heard a whole principle. We talk about present day. And I don't know why people are stuck like this on something that happened in 1994 as if that evil was greater than the evil in front of her. Which one is greater? What she did back then or what we're facing now?
What we're facing is...
Who has the greater evil? What she did in the past or what Trump and his people are threatening to do present and future? Which one is greater?
Right now, Trump.
So I don't know why people keep going back what she did in the past. Which one is greater? The harm we did in the past in Jahiliyyah or the harm that we may do now as Muslims?
The one that's faithfulness now.
Huh?
The one that's faithfulness present.
Yeah. So we're not saying anything about the past. We're talking about now. What she did in the past won't matter if he gets in. Will it matter?
No.
If she gets in and does everything she says, that in the past, people may forgive her. That in the past, people may get over. That in the past, people might say, she did that bad, but she did do some good. If she gets in and she doesn't keep her promise, everything she says, she breaks. It's better for us that she got in on our vote and broke her promise than he gets in and he keeps his promise. If she gets in and breaks her promise and don't do a damn thing, it stays the way that politicians always left it, except that they held true to their word. They faked us out. It'll add to people saying, see, we know we couldn't trust them, but guess what? At least they didn't get in.
Right.
But if she gets in and keeps her word, And right now, when we talk about the things that she's talking about, everything is in people's favor, including the Muslim. She's not talking about stopping us from worship, dismantling the Constitution, making us basically going back to Jim Crow days. He's talking about that. She's talking about lowering the taxes for the poor, raising them for the rich. She's talking about increasing jobs, working more on bringing down inflation. He's talking about that which is going to cripple the economy. She's talking about making sure that we have something paid into Social Security and better schools and removing some of this trash from the textbook about QLB and LBG and all of this. He's not talking about any of that. She's talking about gun control as it relates to the people who are doing harm with these weapons. He's not talking about any of that. He's talking about if he don't get in, bloodshed. And if he gets in, bloodshed. Yeah. She's talking about a lady should have the right to decide if she should get an abortion or not. But he's talking about putting women on a ban of abortion, whether it's life and death, the baby's in danger, and if they go and get an abortion, to lock them up. This goes on. This goes on. And the first people he's coming for is the Muslims. He already made that clear. You know, talking about the ban, some of these brothers have wives that, you know, are here on green cards, or they have wives that, you know, are not from here originally. They came here and they're in the process of trying to get their paperwork straight. Guess what? Them brothers' wives are out of here. We seen that with the Muslim ban when he put that thing. Your mother was here, left, and couldn't come back. So don't let them back in this country. Your mother was coming to get some treatment she couldn't get in Egypt, Palestine, Yemen. She was stuck at the border. Wouldn't let her in. Yeah. And this is a guy who it's okay to do whatever crimes, 34 counts of sexual offenses and this and that. Which he did, some marijuana, people went to jail wrongfully, whatever. We're talking about now. We can't change that. As you know, unfortunate people went through that. But what's going to be more unfortunate if these people get in? So like Sheikh Dawood said this morning, Abu Tasneem, Dawudi rahimahullah, he said, Sheikh, you're right, it's the lesser of the two evils. Dawood? Yeah. Why not? No, I said Hafidahullah. I said Rahima? I'm sorry, I didn't put him in the grave. Hafidahullah. Rahima came out. Well, you could say Rahimahullah, meaning may Allah shower mercy upon him, but we normally say that when a person passed, so I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say Hafidahullah. Yeah. He said, you're right, Sheikh. He said, this is the, it's called, Akhfad Darrain. It is the lesser of the two evils. And that's why we learned this principle. They're both evil. To have a lady, regardless if she was involved in the 1994 drug act or not, the Prophet, anytime he says something is blameworthy, we got to take it as evil. And it's no slight against women. Some women going to hold it down. In fact, that lady, when we talk about, her abilities, her education, her accomplishments, and a single family, being raised by a mother, and yeah, they was hard on blacks because that era we talking about was a lot of crime. She's in, the West Coast. So we're looking at it from a perspective of, what people said, and damn, she put him in jail for a little bit of marijuana, but, we don't know the backdrop. You know what I mean? No father there, this and that. She come from father's Jamaican. They ain't smoking nothing but reefer. You know what I mean? She already felt some kind of way. For real. But the reality is that, she's not a dummy. And again, we'd rather, if white America right now is saying,
most of them would rather have her over Donald Trump. What the hell are we talking about what she did in 1994? People who don't give a damn about blacks, but they understand everything is on the line, and they vote for her. $3 million, Aki, and $300 million in a week's time, Aki. Nobody ever raised that kind of money. And that was for blacks. Then the white women say, we got to do our part too. They had to build a special platform on the Zoom to hold the white women. They broke the damn platform on the Zoom. And outgave money more than the blacks gave. Because it costs money for them to campaign and do this and that. She got the team behind her, the Obama had, and these people telling her, move like this, move like that, who helped Obama win. They coaching her, don't do this, do that, okay, yes. She went and got a white man who's running to be her vice president if she win, who is like me and you, an everyday worker, somebody who was a school teacher, somebody who, advocated for the George Floyd bill that, that cop be prosecuted. So we talking about everyday issues that we face that they talking about getting behind for us. How we going to say no to that? So this is why we brought this thirst today. And I hope like the people, wallahi, get stuck off of stupid. Wake up, all of this talk on the sideline of Sharia and this and that, and they ain't going to benefit us none. Like Sheikh Al-Albani again said, if we the minority and the Kafir majority, and whoever's running, there's a benefit for the Muslim community, the Sheikh said then it is permissible, we should vote for them. And Sheikh Al-Haydan said in the situation in Libya, where they were so-called becoming democratic and voting, and that vote was going to help them people in Libya, he said they better vote. How about now in America? That's all we got, I think. The voice, people say you shouldn't vote. Yeah, if you're talking about following Islam, if you're talking about being in a state where the Muslims don't use that. But remember, the vote, the voice of 1964, the vote, the voice of the people is what got us here today in the masjid. Without that affirmative action, we wouldn't be able to go in the store and get a Coke soda, a bottle of water. We in the masjid, praying, giving dawah, riding cars down Highway 95, 70 West, 40 East, because of somebody's tongue voted in a democratized, capitalistic society. All those people who say don't vote from Saudi Arabia and in these countries Islamically, they couldn't build no masjids in this country in which they did back in the 70s, 80s, if black folks hadn't voted and it passed. Foreigners wouldn't be here. Barra wouldn't be here. His mother, his father. If that vote people's tongue, it didn't matter. And it was the black people's vote. So we're talking about what's Islamic, but also what's dururi, what's necessity. Can you eat a pig? No. Is pork haram? Yes. But in necessity, life or death, Allah has made it halal for you to eat the pig. It's necessity. For us to pick somebody, it's either her or this guy. Right now, she's the only thing in this guy's way. Allahu Akbar. And Allah did that, Azza wa Jalla. They didn't plan that. They didn't see it coming. Allah dropped that thing overnight. Boom! Biden said the pressure. That's it. Kamala, I'm pushing you up there. The world said, what? She even said, what? I said, yeah. You got the most experience, somebody got to do it. So that was from Allah. And we ask Allah to give us victory over them, like in Surah Rum, because that's the real deal Holyfield. Allahu A'lam, so sabaka al-Nadina.
Yeah.